In this video and the associated activities, you will learn to identify some famous constellations and asterisms, as well as learn the names of some of the bright stars within them. You will also learn how to use a star map or chart to navigate the sky. The formal constellation names refer to regions of the sky rather than the familiar stick figure patterns like the teapot shown on the right. The so-called teapot lies within the constellation region of Sagittarius. The entire celestial sphere is divided into 88 constellation regions. Many stars within a constellation region are not visible to the naked eye. We will take a look at some of these regions in the sky in the next couple of slides and in the planetarium during class. Here is a view of the constellation regions looking to our east. You should recognize some of the labels from our discussion about the zodiacal constellations that run along the ecliptic. Here's a view of the constellation regions to the north. Notice how the regions seem to converge at the center. The apparent center is the location of Polaris and the North Celestial Pole. Asterisms, on the other hand, are patterns, like the stick figure shown, of bright stars. Asterisms can be entirely within one constellation region, or they can span two or more regions. Asterisms are unofficial and vary across cultures. You can even make up your own asterism. Let's take a look at some of the few well-known asterisms in modern Western culture. Here is a view of the sky to the north with the constellation borders shown. The blue lines and labels are some of the most well-known asterisms that are located within those constellations. Remember that asterisms don't need to be contained within one constellation region. An asterism can span multiple constellations. One example is the Summer Triangle that spans 3 constellations. Now that you are familiar with the differences between constellations and asterisms, let's learn how to use a star chart to navigate around the sky. The sky map attached to Part 3 of your notes is appropriate for our location at DVC for the month of September. Sky maps that are shown as a circle like this are overhead maps. So, unlike a road map, you need to hold a star map over your head in order to read the directions correctly. Take a look at the sky map included in your notes. This is a full sky map, so shows the entire sky for your location. In the upper right, you will see the month and the time for which the map is valid. The map is labeled with the compass directions, with north at the top. It may appear to you that east and west are backwards, but they are not, since this map is meant to be held over your head. We will elaborate on that soon. In the meantime, notice the ecliptic line and the familiar zodiacal constellations that lie along it. The zenith is located at the center of the circular map. Remember that the zenith is located directly overhead. To figure out which stars would be at or near the zenith, you would hold this map over your head so that the Z lines up with your actual zenith. If you are facing south when you do this, you should line up the south part of the map with south in your actual sky. Let's look at this map using half of it at a time. If we want to use this map as a south-facing map, we could fold the paper in half across the dashed line as shown. Now we are ready to use this map as a south-facing map. Stand so that you are facing south and hold the map in front of you. The boundary of the map is your horizon, starting from the east to your left and ending in the west to your right. Directly in front of you and at the bottommost part of the map is the horizon in the south. Where the Z is marked would be directly overhead. In this example, the constellation of Scorpius is partly below the horizon to the southwest, and Aquila is high in the southern sky. The remainder of the class notes are for identifying some of the famous constellations that are visible in the night sky for us for this time of year. You will use the online sky map to label the charts in your notes. There are written instructions included in the module on how to do this. We will view all of these constellations and stars in the planetarium in the next live class.